Good morning, everyone. And to begin with, I'd like to thank Tallinn Technical University to be engaged in urban issues in separate ways and being a good partner for the city of Tallinn and also our state government and many other municipalities. Of course, thanks to all of you who have traveled here from afar to take part in this event. We ordered some snow to mask the effects of climate change. We basically didn't have a winter again, but today we can still enjoy some snow here. Whenever we talk about cities, it's often conceptualized in a way of problems that urbanization brings, and obviously with majority of world population living in cities, and in Estonia more than 70% of people living in cities, there are some challenges, but a fundamental fact is that cities are fantastic places of human endeavor. Although we all often speak of problems, most of the economic activity occurs here, most of the innovation occurs here, most of the culture occurs here. Pretty much everything good about human life occurs actually in cities. Regional policy is also important, but for other reasons. Because obviously bringing many people together unleashes the energy of humans as social beings, and that is why cities are so fantastic places. But of course, managing bigger groups of humans is always a challenge, and one has to do that in a proper structured way. So obviously, if we look at also here in Tallinn, but worldwide, the expectations of city dwellers are increasing. But not only are they increasing towards the city government, not only are they increasing, but they're also becoming more conflictual. So that's things that are demanded by local population are not the same. And many of the tenets inside it are actually conflictual. And if they are not democratically managed, then you will get into real problems. In some places that might be described in terms of social turmoil, but in others, I think you could get to a sort of emotional state that promotes solutions that do more harm than good. Also here now in Estonia, I've been surprised Estonian colleagues understand what I talk about, that there are politicians who are also grabbing a chainsaw. And it's been quite surprising to see how one can get to that sort of logic or thinking that actually the solution to the problems that we face could somehow involve a chainsaw to the public sector and public services that are provided. I think that chainsaw is not just a symbol of stupidity when it comes to public administration. It's okay to cut wood. But more importantly, I think it's a symbol of a lack of real solutions, that you are not able to actually come up with solutions that work, and instead of that you engage in something that looks like a real thing, but will do more harm than good. When it comes to cities and Tallinn in particular, I think that there are two main issues that we are dealing with, and they're sustainability and inclusiveness. Sustainability obviously gets a lot of attention these days all across Europe, also among the electorate, and not always in a positive way. But clearly, with acute climate crisis, we are currently in the situation where first of all, of course, there is a necessity to do what is needed to be done to mitigate climate change, and cities here are on the front line in terms of the fastest and most efficient measures. And I think that the potential of the cities in climate action is unrealized up until now properly. If you look, for example, at the European funding mechanism, that they're mostly nation-state based and looking for a big, like nationwide solutions. But usually cities actually have hundreds of projects in the pipeline. With adequate funding, we could actually achieve results much faster than the state governments do. That's first part. Second part, of course, is adaptation. Cities will be are on the forefront of adaptation. In Estonian countryside, you don't need to worry that much about floods of heat waves. Their nature will help us without any real engineering. But in cities is where you actually need to do that. Second, of course, is inclusiveness, which gets much less attention, and it's not only a matter of human suffering, which is or can be much more serious problem in cities, because the social safety net of a small community is not present here. But it's also fundamentally a matter of democracy, of inclusiveness, of actually working for the people who live here, and those issues, I think, get much less attention globally than they should. So in Tallinn here, in my understanding, we actually need to work on both at the same time. So how to create a sustainable city that is at the same time inclusive. Keeping in mind also that, of course, inequalities, including social inequalities, income inequalities, all types of inequalities are much more pronounced in cities than in the countryside. Now, coming to innovation and smart solutions, then people usually think about, cutting edge technologies that are not there yet. But in most instances, it's actually not the case. For example, heating is in Tallinn is one of the biggest climate or biggest issues in terms of climate emissions or CO2 emissions. And here we will be climate neutral in our district heating by 2030, getting rid of fossil gas. What we need for that? More district heating pipes, industrial heat pumps, heat accumulation tanks, and heat exchangers. They are fantastic pieces of technology, but they are not particularly cutting edge. What is necessary in order to achieve those results is an actual, good governance and partnership with companies that actually do that with a good regulatory framework, and you achieve results. And the same is true of many other things. There are issues that for solving of which we still are waiting for some new technological solutions, but mostly we're underusing the solutions that technologically are already there because we are not able to collaborate properly, to fund them properly, or we don't have enough data for that. Tallinn has, of course, compared to most other municipalities, we've been very much engaged with scientific community, with universities on many solutions that we use here, be it in transportation, nature-based solutions, in rainwater, and so on. But compared to the challenges at hand, of course, we're still only at the beginning of the journey. Last year, our common projects with universities amounted to 800,000 euros, which is much more than in most other municipalities, but for a city with an annual budget of more than 1 billion euros, then it's of course a drop in the sea. And this is something that the culture that we still need to foster in order to be better and really use those solutions that our scientists and our innovative companies here have already at hand, and that can be implemented in Tallinn. And I think that the main question, of course, is innovation culture of the public sector compared to many other countries and many other cities. We are doing very well, but to be honest, we need to be much better. And it all starts with, I think, with an ambition. And as I've said to the city officials and city government, that being the best municipality in Estonia is very easy for Tallinn. We don't really need to do much to be the best here. But that's not really an ambition to work on. If you think about Estonian potential here, about where Tallinn is already now, then ambition of being the best in the region, I think, is a minimum. And in some spheres, being best in the world is something that is fully achievable if we actually put our mind to it and have an adequate, ambitious plan to do that. So this is something that we try to implement on our side, and of course we're very happy and looking forward for concrete proposals and ideas from the side of scientific community and practitioners to help us achieve that goal. So to sum up, I think that what is really necessary in this regard is to put away the chainsaw, diagnose precisely what are the bottlenecks of our public administrations, what is on the way of actually achieving our goals, and then use data and best solutions available to come up with the adequate solutions to the challenges that we face. I'd like to welcome you once again here in Tallinn, and I wish you a good day and inspiration in terms of collaboration with your colleagues, and also hopefully some great solutions that we could implement here in Tallinn. Thank you.